If Vladimir Putin wanted a response, this is what's coming. Combat aircraft from across NATO rapidly deploying to eastern Poland to join Operation Eastern Sentry, with the MOD confirming that RAF Typhoons will now also join the air policing mission. This bolstering of NATO's eastern flank was announced 2 days after 19 Russian drones flew deep into Polish airspace. Many of the UAVs were these unarmed Geran-2s, a Russian-built version of the Iranian Shahed 136 loitering munition. At least 3 were shot down, some by Dutch F-35s, with the wreckage of a further 15 reportedly found across eastern Poland, with some properties damaged by falling debris. This map produced by Ukrainian social media channels showed the flight paths of Russian drones on that particular night, with some clearly entering Poland. Reports in German media suggested they were heading for Rzeszów Airport, a major logistics hub for military aid to Ukraine. As well as US forces, a small detachment of British personnel are also based there.
Apparently, it simply veered off course and fell, and this indeed could have been the consequence of a technical malfunction.
At the UN, Russia denied launching any deliberate incursion, claiming the drones could have strayed accidentally into Polish airspace, possibly because of jamming. But that was dismissed as fantasy by Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk.
This situation brings us the closest we've been to open conflict since World War II. We have a full-scale war beyond our Ukrainian-Russian border, but we already have something that goes beyond the bounds of mere provocations in our own skies. And perhaps today we need to say it again very loudly and clearly. Poland today has a political enemy who does not conceal his hostile intentions beyond its eastern border.
A few days later, it happened again, this time over Romania, with another Geran-2 entering Romanian airspace. 2 F-16s tracked it for an hour before it headed back into Ukraine. NATO branded Russia's actions reckless and irresponsible, and Secretary-General Mark Rutte and the alliance's European commander, General Alexis Grinkovich, announced the response. Operation Eastern Sentry, a signal to the Kremlin, they said, that NATO would defend its territory.
Eastern Sentry will be flexible and agile, delivering even more focused deterrence and defense exactly when and where needed. It will include additional enhanced capabilities. It will integrate air and ground-based defenses, and it will increase information sharing amongst nations.
So who's sending what to Poland? Well, France has dispatched 3 twin-engine Rafale jets. Germany has deployed 4 Eurofighter Typhoons. And the Czechs are sending a Special Forces helicopter unit equipped with Russian-built Mi-17 HIPs, while the Danes are sending 2 of their F-16 fighters, along with an air defence frigate. The British Typhoons taking part in the operation won't actually be deployed to Poland. Instead, they'll operate out of RAF Coningsby in Lincolnshire, flying sorties to eastern Poland and back with the help of Voyager air-to-air refuelling tankers from RAF Brize Norton. And all of this comes as Moscow's forces take part in a large-scale military exercise in neighbouring Belarus and the Baltics. 13,000 Russian and Belarusian troops are taking part in Zapad 2025, which takes place every 4 years. This time around, Moscow's focus seems to be the Baltics and the Barents Sea, and in particular, the tiny exclave of Kaliningrad, the small piece of Russian territory sandwiched between Poland and Lithuania. Moscow is clearly aware that this is where some analysts think any war between NATO and Russia could begin. No surprise then that the Russian military has pushed out a series of videos designed to show how well defended it is. From Iskander-M ballistic missiles stationed on a highway to hypersonic missiles being fired from a warship in the Barents Sea, and Russian Marines defending the coastline from an amphibious assault. 4 years ago, Vladimir Putin used the Zapad exercise as cover for a huge military build-up on the border with Ukraine, massing 200,000 troops, 80 aircraft and 290 tanks, forces he eventually unleashed on Kyiv. This time around, with so much of Moscow's combat power tied up in the so-called special military operation, Russia is only sending around 8,000 troops. Even so, Poland, understandably, is taking no chances. Warsaw's sent 40,000 troops to its eastern border areas and closed all road and rail links to Belarus. It's also invoked NATO Article 4, calling for urgent talks with other alliance members, and imposed a flight restriction zone along its entire eastern border until December. Lithuania too says it will close its borders with Belarus if provoked, as Vladimir Putin continues to posture and probe and test NATO's resolve. Simon Newton, BFBS Forces News. Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.